Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Aaron's High Cap Adventure Radio program. I'm Matt, your host, and we were discussing before the break how we're going to be talking about ejector feed malfunctions. Let's think about that. What is an ejector feed malfunction? Well, it's a malfunction of an auto pistol because the ejector didn't do what it was supposed to do. So let's figure out what we've got going on here. Now, what we're going to do, as we always do when we pick up a handgun, we're going to check to make sure it's not loaded. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see this on the radio, but you will be able to see it on video. I have in my hand here a 1911 Colt New Agent pistol. I love it. It's got no sights. It's one of the guns I shoot the fastest with because I don't take the time, waste my time aiming with sights. I just pick up the gun, point, shoot, and hit the target. But anyway, what we got, chamber's clear, magazine's out, magazine is empty, so the weapon is clear. What I'm going to show you on the video right now, and I'll try to explain to you in radio land there, when the slide is forward on an automatic pistol, it should be flush with the frame if the frame is supposed to be flush with it, or it's supposed to be flush up on the barrel. You don't want to have any staggering effect. So if you're looking at the video, you can see it's a straight line across. The slide is in proper form with the gun. No problems. So what is an ejector feed malfunction? Well, I brought some dummy rounds here. Let me show you what that is. I'm going to insert a dummy round into the chamber, and I'm going to drop the slide forward gently. And if you look on the video, you'll notice that the barrel is staggered off the guide rod. Okay, that's not good. I can't shoot the gun. Something's wrong. Well, what was it? What caused it? Well, we got to go backwards. We got to talk backwards about it. But first of all, you got different types of malfunctions. You got a stovepipe, double feed, failure to feed, or an ejector feed malfunction. We're talking about the ejector feed malfunction. And we're going to talk about what happens to it, how you fix it, why it happens, so on and so forth. But what we need to do first is talk about ammunition. If you look at a cartridge that an auto pistol is using, it has a rim on the bottom that goes all the way around the shell casing. And the cartridge consists of a bullet, the projectile, the shell casing, the primer, and the gunpowder. Well, on the shell casing, there is a rim that goes all the way around it. Standard automatic cartridge. And what happens is the extractor is going to hook on that rim. That extractor is kind of like a hook, and it's on the inside of your gun. And what it does is it's supposed to carry the cartridge into the chamber, not push the cartridge into the chamber. And by carrying the cartridge into the chamber, the hook of the extractor grabs onto that rim of the cartridge and carries it into the chamber. When you fire the gun, the slide comes to the rear and the extractor holds onto that shell casing on that rim and pulls it out. So I ask my students all the time, does a cartridge get pushed into the chamber or does it get carried into the chamber? And I'll get both answers and we'll square it away. The answer to that question is the cartridge gets carried. And the way it works is this. When the cartridge is in the magazine, and I've got it here if you can see it on the video, when the slide comes to the rear and then starts to push a new cartridge off, what happens is once the cartridge is freed from the magazine, it pops up. And when it pops up, the rim of the cartridge slips into the slot of the hook where the extractor is, and it locks it into place. The extractor is holding on to the cartridge and putting pressure on it so that it doesn't fall off. So when the slide continues to go forward, it goes into the chamber. Okay. What happens sometimes, though, and I think it happens because people, when they're racking the slide, getting the gun ready, they don't do it hard enough, and the gun malfunctions. When we're dealing with a handgun, you got to remember, every time you pull the trigger, you have a minor explosion happening in the gun. So if you have a minor explosion, you being gentle with it's not going to hurt the gun. Get rough with it. You want to get rough with the gun. If you start moving the slide slowly trying to feed the gun, sometimes what happens is the cartridge pops out of its proper alignment and the extractor gets behind the shell casing. So once again, instead of it, if you're looking on video, the extractor holds onto the cartridge and carries it in. And then when you fire the gun, it pulls it to the rear. And when it makes contact with the ejector, it flips out the shell casing. If you do it slowly and load the handgun slowly, what happens sometimes is the cartridge gets out of alignment and gets behind, or actually in front of the ejector, and the ejector just pushes it. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to load it up again, putting a fake cartridge into the magazine. If I load it slowly, I just have malfunctions and it doesn't work right, doesn't line up. Okay? What we want to do is take the weapon and get aggressive. We put the magazine in, and we rack the slide to the rear, and it's doing what it's supposed to do, and it goes into its proper place. So what causes it? I believe it's just being too gentle with the gun. What is it called? It's called an ejector feed malfunction. And once again, I'm going to show it to you. It's by putting the cartridge in their chamber. The extractor is behind the cartridge, and it has a staggered effect. The way to correct this is either slap the back of the gun to get it right, which I don't personally like, or pull the slide to the rear halfway and then just let it go again, and the extractor catches on to the cartridge itself. So that right there is an extractor feed malfunction. It feeds the cartridge in the chamber, but it malfunctioned by getting behind the cartridge instead of carrying the cartridge into the chamber. All right. The nice thing about that is that you can sign up for one of my classes. I've got all sorts of classes. If you were to take one of my basic co-ed handgun proficiency, safety seminars, home invasion seminars, we go over these types of malfunctions in depth. So you need to go to aaronsgunshop.com and go to the High Cap Adventure page, and you're going to see all the different flyers there and all the different types of courses that we have. And on each flyer, it's going to tell you exactly what we're going to be doing. And also go to the testimonial page. You'll get to see some ladies who've taken the courses, and they'll give you some experience, and read some of the testimonials as well. And I think you'll find it as very interesting, and it's very achieving. We try to break you down so that you can find your weak spots. Practicing something you already know is great, but we want to get you to a break point so we know what happens and how to fix it. So that's the gun training demo. Go to the website, aaronsgunshop.com, and go to the High Cap Adventure page and sign up there. I've got another product I want to go over. It's called Blackjack Firearms, and they make guns. They're a manufacturer in Cameron, and they make all sorts of guns, AKs, ARs. And I was talking to you last week about all the different products that they could put on the gun. And what I've got here with me are 4 different pistol grips. I was talking about sling adapters last week. Well, this week we're going to talk about grips to the AR platform. And I've got them in my briefcase, and I forgot to take them out. So that's why I'm juggling here. Okay, and I've got them out here. There's 4 different types I want to talk about. And if you look on Videoland, you've got the standard pistol grip that comes with an AR, basic standard AR. Plain Jane, plastic, hollow, 1 finger groove on it. Okay? It's done its job and done it well. But of course, we always want to get better. We want to improve because not everybody's hand will fit this perfectly. You can make it work and you can adjust. So my friends at Blackjack Firearms, once again, John, he lives right across the road from me. He's got a shop there. He builds ARs. Go to bjfirearms.biz. Check out their website. They got all sorts of pretty things there. Check them out. But right now what we're talking about is some of the grips that they use on their rifles. The next one I want to talk about is a Magpul pistol grip. This one is kind of like the original, except it's got a beaver tail to it. It's got more stippling on it, more surface area to grip your skin for a better grip. And the front and the rear part of the grip are stippled as well. They're basically checkered. So you've got a grip with a little slight different angle. If you put the 2 up, one's got a little different angle to it because people's hands are different. This beaver tail on the back of the grip just gives more comfort to your hand when shooting. And the roughness of the pistol grip itself helps you to hold the gun. Now, this pistol grip here, too, is hollow as well as this one, so there's not much you can do with it other than grip the gun. If we go to the next one, it's almost identical to this Magpul pistol grip. However, this particular one is a little bit fatter. People's hands are a little bit bigger. They need a little bit more meat in the hand to hold on to. So this one's particularly wider as compared to this one. But the other part of it is it comes with a little trap door on the bottom. Not only a trap door, but a plug. And what's nice about it is you can put things in this pistol grip because nothing's going to come out of it with this plug in here. And nothing's going to come out of it because I can't open it up. So once you open it up, the only thing I don't like about this particular one is it separates from the pistol grip. So if for some reason I take it out and I lose it, it comes separated from the gun itself, and then all the stuff in my pistol grip falls out. Although it's a great concept, it's flatter. I personally like ones that have a trap door instead, which is this next one I'm going to show you right now. This one's a different brand. This one's from Tapco. It's got a much stronger slope to it. It's got different type of grip on it, and it also has a trap door. I like these. These are my preferred ones. I've got them on all of mine except for one. And if we look at the bottom here, the trap door swings open on a hinge and does not separate from the pistol grip. So I can store extra batteries, a front sight post. If you're a smoker, you can put a cigarette or 2 in there, some chewing tobacco, whatever. But when you shut the gate on it, It's got a metal trap. It's got a trap door, and then it's got the metal spring to keep it into place. I personally like the grip. It's bigger in my hand, and I like the angle. So that's it. Go to bjfirearms.biz. Check them out. I think you're going to like what you see there. They've always got some great products, and if you want to build something special, you can have it custom made. Just ask them how to do it. Tell them what you want, and they'll build it for you.